Hi, I'm Rick Dassler, your mortgage consultant for life affiliated with Family Lender here in upscale Fairfax, Virginia. I'm here again with Meredith Maslick. She's with Possibilities Consulting. She basically consults to the nonprofit world. And today we're going to talk about the many things that a church or a school or a community organization can do to fundraise. There's quite a few of those. What are some of the better ones, and how do you pick through all of that, Meredith? How do you do that?
Right. That's a great topic, and one of the main issues that schools, especially in churches, face is that if you're a parent of a school-age child, you're probably every other week getting asked for money.
Right.
There's some fundraising going on, and then it's hard for the PTAs and the boosters and the groups to figure out they need to raise money, and how do you do it? And so as the fundraiser within your church or your school, how do you pick what to do? There's a million out there. You literally, and most do, have a different fundraiser every week.
Yes, it seems like it. You're right. Right when school starts, I get knocks on the doors, and I personally, and maybe I shouldn't be saying this, but I personally like to encourage the kids as an entrepreneurial spirit. Go ahead, and it's hard to knock on doors and raise money. So I really try to encourage them.
Absolutely,
so I'm one of those guys that give the money. Yeah, I live in Austin, Texas.
Yeah. No, so that's good, and that is all part of it, and those are very traditional school, church-based things, and you don't necessarily not want to do them, but you do want to be careful to avoid donor fatigue, that the donors in the beginning are like, oh, okay, yeah, it's wrapping paper, oh, great, cookies, and then it's just like, oh, now what is it? Oh, it's a magazine, and feeling this obligation that you have to, because it's your niece or it's your neighbor's kid or whatever it is. So what I try to encourage groups like that, schools, churches, community organizations that do a lot of these sort of small campaigns, is to look at the big picture, look at the full year or full funding cycle for your organization, and what are the things you need to accomplish, what are you going to raise the money for, what has been your best things in the past, and build on that. You can Google fundraising activities and come up with 1,000 things. Some of them cost money, some of them don't, some of them are easy, some are, and you can really just be going in 100 directions. So what I encourage is you want to try to have a great variety in the things you're doing to raise money.
Okay, give us some examples, maybe.
Sure. Sally Foster. A lot of schools do that. That's the wrapping paper chocolate thing.
I've heard of that, yes.
Yeah, and that's a knock on the door, mom takes it to work, gets her coworkers.
Yeah, and we'll talk about that maybe in this conversation, maybe not, but I've always been intrigued that it's not the kids necessarily doing the fundraising, it's the parents.
Right.
Not so bad, but
that's
an interesting one.
Not quite the entrepreneurial spirit.
That's right. My kid's going out knocking on doors. Okay, not me. Okay.
That's right. So if you have one or two of those campaigns in a year, that's probably good.
Okay.
You don't want to do too much of that, because it's going to be, mom's coworkers are going to run the other way when she walks in the morning with another sign-up sheet.
Right. I already dodged Bev when her school was campaigning in the office here.
Right. Yeah. If you have a kid who's a Girl Scout too, then you're really sunk, because you got the school, you got the Girl Scout cookies.
Right.
So you don't want to do too many of those. One or two. Pick ones that have been expected. Yes. Maybe one in the beginning, one in the middle. Okay. Then there's also, for a lot of schools and churches, an annual event is really successful. A silent auction, a casino night, dance performance, if that's something that, something that...
An event that maybe the group puts on.
Yes, exactly. So that's another way to get people to donate, and there'll be a way of donating. It's not as if it's not clear, but they're getting something in exchange other than cookies or chocolate or paper that they may or may not need, or magazine subscriptions that they're not going to read.
Right, good.
So, and then there's also, doing direct giving campaign, just writing letters, annual fund. Writing letters to your constituency and just asking for a contribution to your annual operating fund, or to a specific drive. If there's a program you want to start, if your church is trying to redo the pulpit.
Or maybe a missions trip. I know churches that we attend, missions are a big deal to a particular mission with a particular family that's in a particular place.
Exactly. So then that would be something you raise money, just direct cash contributions. Or, look at the resources that you have in your community, within your school, within your church. Does someone own a restaurant? Would they be willing to do a restaurant night where a portion of the proceeds for that night will go to your cause? These are different things. The more you can mix it up, the better return you're going to get, because you'll get people who are uncomfortable just writing a check, will be willing to buy wrapping paper. People who buy wrapping paper might not want to write a check, but they all will come to your spaghetti dinner.
And this last thing you're really mentioning is, and this is really one of the concepts of neighbors serving neighbors, but it's teaming with other organizations.
Yes.
And maybe barter, but team with them to again show value.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
that's
Exactly.
powerful.
Partnerships between for-profit, non-profit, things like that, and just really looking at what your resources are, what's available to you that's unique. And the more unique you can do, you can be, and the more geared towards your specific organization, the character of your organization, the better as well, because that's what people are going to resonate with.
Excellent.
And they'll open their wallets more generously.
Okay, great. Now, if you are an organization, let me say that again, if you are an organization, a community organization, a church, a school, a club, and you want to ask, more questions of you, Meredith, do you want them to do that?
Absolutely.
Okay, great.
Yes,
so she's inviting you to do that. And the way you reach her is you can go to the website. Tell me the website address.
It's possibilitiesconsulting.com.
Okay. And that information, some more contact information, is going to be at the bottom of this blog site, of which the video is being displayed. So, and if you ever need to, you can get in touch with me. You know how to do that. It's on the website. So, again, thank you, Meredith, for discussing, the better way of how to go raise money and fundraise. And we'll see you in a few weeks, because we're going to have more to talk about.